Hello and welcome to episode 98 of Draft Offsides. I'm with Tico Nenza. My name is Keith, and we are officially dropping our first round of rankings. It won't be our last round of rankings. I don't know. What should we try and update them weekly? I feel like trying to get you guys to do them is like hurting cats.
Whoa. Trying to get Tico to do it and actually adding the right
trying to
players.
even to spell the players' names correctly is like
That's different. I fucking did it. You knew what player I was talking about.
Okay. So we're going to do our rankings. First, let's talk through some news and notes. I think the biggest thing that's really exciting is Higo Ekiteke got a here we go and is on his way to Liverpool. And the implications for that are pretty far reaching and affect a lot of different players. I think the first thing is we managed to slot him into our rankings. I think we're all kind of around the same place, which we'll talk about in depth more, but it's looking like it is going to be in the second round.
Yeah, second round.
And what do you guys think about the trade in general? I know you don't need to have like an analysis of Ekiteke quite yet, but just like in general, is it something you're excited about?
Just think about that top three and how attacking it is. Florian Wirtz, Ekiteke got 10 goals and 8 assists. Mo Salah, top goal scorer last season. They've gone out, man. They spent more this transfer window than the 5 years they had Klopp. That's nuts.
Is that true?
That's true.
That sounds like an Enzo.
Nope.
Sounds like an Enzo.
Look it up.
No, that's true.
Look it up. They bought a ton. Think about it. Frimpong, Florian Wirtz was already a pre-penny. Kirkes, now Ekiteke, and they got a couple other players that weren't that much, but they were still in the millions. So, yeah, man.
It's also going to be interesting what it means to Luis Diaz, who didn't play the friendly, I think, against... They had a game yesterday, Liverpool. And Darwin Núñez had a 15-minute hat trick. But we all know he's on his way out, so I think it's going to be interesting what it means for Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo, obviously, as well.
Yeah, I kind of want to talk to Luis Diaz. I think as this stretches on, I have another bone to pick with you about Luis Diaz. Ends up we can get there later, but I feel like as it stretches on, I'm losing more and more faith in him and feeling like this could be the Harry Kane of 2 years ago, the Ivan Toney of last year, where guys who pick him thinking that they're getting a really good deal end up getting just screwed out because he transfers out in the last week or two, right?
Yeah, why you plant that seed, Keith? You said you got a bone to pick with me. You go.
I do have a bone to pick with you because what we do is we rank players and we have to take these things into account as we rank them. And what you decided to do, which was to not rank him at all, was the coward's way out.
How is that a coward's way out?
Because even if you don't personally want to draft him, it's about figuring out where you want to rank him.
Okay, so where did anyone rank Rashford?
No, I don't think he has any value.
He shouldn't be drafted.
I don't think that Luis Diaz should be drafted right now.
I think the difference is that if this deal falls through, Luis Diaz is going to return value on like a second round pick. If the Rashford Barcelona deal was like mysteriously fall through in the last second, like Rashford would still go undrafted because he's not going to play.
You just changed your tone because in the chat you didn't say anything like that because you said, "Oh, if that's your mindset, then okay."
Yeah,
because you thought I did it. Because you thought I did it by mistake,
I accepted
which I didn't.
I know. Well, at first I did because I was like, "There's no rational reason to not."
You mean there's no rational reason? There's been so many rumors
to not rank him. If you don't want to draft him, it's one thing. To not rank him, I was a little peeved.
I'm sorry.
No,
I respect your opinion.
Thank you.
You couldn't tell by Keith's tone that he was not happy with you
on the chat. No, I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I made it fairly clear. But okay. That being said, yes, Luis Diaz is dropping like a rock in drafts, right? Mm-hmm. But there is a place where you're gonna look and go, well, fuck it. At this stage in a draft, it's worth it.
Okay, I hear you.
But I don't know where that is personally anymore. I've lost touch of where that is.
Fair.
Right here. Where would that be for you, Enzo? If you saw him in the 5th round and he was still there, you wouldn't be tempted? Luis Diaz?
No.
10th round.
10th round? You guys are that far down on it.
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to give the extreme to Enzo just to show him how he's wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Would you draft him in the 10th round?
No.
15th round?
Yes.
So you have him ranked top 150. There you go.
Yeah, maybe. That's
not
okay.
maybe.
But that's
okay. Sorry.
But that's literally that's a throwaway pick. We already know the 150 pick is sometimes it's like your like risk pick. That from like.
Do you know?
Go on.
Do you know how rankings work?
Fuck you.
All right.
Okay. So Luis Diaz is becoming a little bit of a scary prospect. Cody Gakpo, does this change your thoughts on that at all, or is Luis Diaz leaving automatically better for Cody Gakpo?
No, I think it stays the same because with Ekiteke going there, then it just still keeps him down, slotted behind Florian Wirtz. So
yeah, unless they change their formation, which is a possibility.
Which is a
too.
possibility because they could
Yeah.
play three at the back, but then they don't have who they play the three in the back with.
I mean, they got defenders.
Well, Kanate, Virgil van Dijk, and they already got rid of Kwanzaa. So
yeah. Okay. I mean, I think we can discuss that more when we talk rankings. And then Gyökeres is still ongoing, and I saw reports that his father's brought to tears at how much of a standstill it's at. And then I also saw reports that Man United came in with like a last minute. They're trying to like potentially get in there, and he wasn't really that interested in that.
The agent cut his fees so they can get him at a lower price. It just doesn't seem like. It just seems like there's so many barriers in the way, and Arsenal's just not budging. And honestly, Sporting is like, "Fuck you! You're going to pay the price that we want. You're going to pay it up front."
It feels like an ego thing, but for the two clubs at this point, doesn't it? Like it feels like Gyökeres is bending over backwards trying to make this happen. His agent is bending over backwards, and the two clubs are just like trying to like big dick each other a little bit.
Honestly, man, he's under contract, and he's at Sporting Lisbon for I think like 3 more years. His contract. So
I get it. I just feel like it would be very unfortunate if nothing budges there, and the only way it'd be kind of funny is if then Arsenal makes a deadline day bid for Nicholas Jackson.
Yo,
that would truly be. Ollie Watkins would be like, I get, and I would actually think that'd be a good move. Nicholas Jackson would just be the funniest thing to ever happen.
Yeah, that'd be fucking hilarious. But
okay, so with
I was gonna say, but don't you think Nicholas Jackson should go to Man United? I think that's where he should go.
That'd also be awesome. I'd love that as well. I actually think he'd do well at both those clubs as much as Tico despises them.
Well, it's also a win-win for you because if he sucks and you're wrong, it's your enemy's getting a shitty player. If he's good and you get to say, "Hey, I told you guys he was good."
Yeah, you're totally right. I love it.
Win-win.
I think everything about it. Okay, with Ekiteke going to Liverpool, that sounds like that cools off the Isak rumors to Liverpool as well. Mm-hmm. Is there any world where Arsenal just bail on Gyökeres and drop 120 million on like an Isak bid?
I mean, how much did they pay for Rice?
100. And they could, don't get me wrong, and it would make more sense to spend 120 million on Isak than to spend, was it 75 million on
after add-ons?
Yeah, after add-ons with Gyökeres, because Isak's proven.
So it's extra 45 million. That's a lot.
It's a lot of money.
£100 million too.
Well, and they just bought Noni Madueke for no fucking reason. So
yeah, I wonder if that's like we actually can't afford to buy Isak and do Noni Madueke. That'd be very funny. But yeah, it's getting a little messy, but it's very interesting. I think this has been like the first transfer window in like maybe like a year, like maybe since COVID, where it feels like it's been like very juicy.
Yeah,
do you guys feel that way?
Like, yeah, no, I completely agree. Like Rodrigo's still in the air too. Like I guess it's cooled down now with Liverpool. I don't think he'll go to Liverpool, but where's he gonna go? Could he go to Arsenal still?
Actually, on Real Madrid Twitter, him going to Liverpool has kind of the traction has been more the last few days.
Whoa.
Yeah,
do you think that's just like money's being spent, so then people want to talk about him? You know what I mean? Like Liverpool's buying all these players. Oh, maybe they'll get this guy too. Like, is it kind of like that? Do you think there's anything legit to it?
Well, there's also a rumor that Konate is going to go to Real Madrid this transfer window. So I think it's one of those things where like Liverpool's like, you know what, we're going to take one of your players back because we've been poaching them.
And then like it's almost like a trade. Like they'll never frame it as a trade, but there's like an element of trade.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's funny because they say that they're spending that Coutinho money they got all those years ago finally, and that they invested it into Bitcoin.
I saw that. There's like, did they invest the Coutinho money into crypto? That was very funny.
Yeah,
that was a very funny bit. Okay, John Arias is going from one of the Brazilian teams. I don't remember which one.
Is it
to
it's
Fluminense?
Yeah, Fluminense. No,
it's
Palmeiras.
I don't remember it.
Palmeiras,
I think. Yeah, maybe not. But he's going to Wolves, and it's a relatively cheap deal. He's like 27.
Yeah,
I kind of like it. I think it's interesting.
It's a very Wolves move.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where his ADP starts in fantrax once he gets like officially like added in, because I could see that as like a later round pick as like a pretty like like a sneaky like 12th, 13th round
I
pick.
mean, it wouldn't be bad.
No, yeah.
You still,
I think, and he's not young, and he also he proved during the Club World Cup that he can play with against elite talent. Like it's not like it's going to be like a step too far for him or anything. You know,
you'd handcuff him with Strand Larson, and that'd be nice.
yeah. I mean, he's obviously more of a winger, but yeah, I mean, they're just players there. I also think they need more. Wolves need more attack, so I like it.
Yeah.
Rashford is officially going to Barcelona.
Peace.
Yep. Good times and some very bad times with
know,
Rashford over the years as a fantasy owner. So
it just makes me laugh that I've seen now like more Barcelona feeds with the top three being Rashford, Lamine Yamal, and Rafinha, and it's just like I don't know if that's gonna work. Those three.
Is that what they want?
No, that's just what I've seen a lot of it being posted, and like, do you know those
so
memes?
Like, Lewandowski's just chopped liver.
That's what I'm fucking saying. Like
he is like, what? Is he going to be 37 this year?
Yeah,
he's gonna be older.
So Thiago Silva's 40 and he balled out, man. Age is nothing but a number now.
I feel like a striker.
What is Lewandowski going to just position himself in the box and wait for the pass
all day in the right spot though? Perfect.
I think that's probably. I think it'll be. I'm curious to see how much playing time he gets. Rashford at Barca.
Good thing it doesn't affect us.
Good thing it doesn't affect us. What does affect us though is these rumors with Nico Jackson that we kind of talked about earlier. Do you feel like if he goes to one of those teams, he suddenly shoots up draft boards though, right? If he goes to Manchester United, I think he all of a sudden starts going in like the 4th round.
I think he shoots up, but I don't. It's still a risky play.
I don't think it is. I think right now Chelsea's the forward number 3.
Pedro, I'm talking about.
Ahead of him.
I'm not talking about that. I'm agreeing with the 4th round. I just still think because he's going to a new team. I'm not sure.
I mean, wouldn't he be an upgrade over Kai Havertz as well?
I think they'd split time.
They'll split time. I think at Man United he'd get playing time.
Good amount of minutes.
Yeah, he'd get a good amount of minutes. And Bruno would just kick a bunch of balls up to him. Hopefully he reaches it.
Yeah, and for every like 4 that he gets onto, he maybe gets 1 on target or something.
Maybe.
I like those odds.
Yeah.
I also like the potential of Nico Jackson going from Cole Palmer to Bruno Fernandes to elite midfielders.
That's true.
Chance after chance by like those amazing passes.
I mean, but actually, it's kind of a juicy because we've always talked about Nico Jackson as like a volume player, and those are 2 guys that are very much like volume passers.
Yeah.
That like create a lot of chances and stuff. So I know that was kind of a joke, Higo, but I actually think it's a really
a really good fucking point.
It's like that adds to the fact that he's going to have like the support around him to be decent if he goes to Man United. I think I prefer that over Arsenal. Arsenal's just so like stodgy the way they play.
I agree.
They're also more wing dependent.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so should we get into our rankings then, guys?
Okay, guys, don't judge us. It's going to be in 3 parts. All right, keep going.
Okay, yeah, probably going to break this up into parts just to make it easier. We're going to start with the 150 to 101? Or
150 to 101.
Yeah.
Okay. Sharing screen.
Keith, did you do the intro?
Yeah, I did the intro.
Yeah. I did do the intro, and it was great. Alrighty, so how's this? You want me to zoom in a little bit?
You're good, man. I got mine on my screen.
Cool. Okay, so I think we want to kind of break this down into rounds a little bit too. So let's just, for the sake of just our own brains, we can do it in like a 10 team draft. So it's just easier. So like 150, 140, 130. Looking at this, I like to think of the first 3 or the last 3 rounds, like what 16, 15, 14, 13 even maybe, as like that's when you like I personally start to take lottery picks, and then also maybe fill in a position where I am like light and just need like an extra little bit of support. Those are like the 2 types of players that I'm looking at when I do this. So looking at our board, the Mr. Irrelevant number 150 is for Lopez from Wolves. I actually think of him as a lottery pick type guy. Tico, you didn't even rank him. I'm not even sure how much he's on your radar, just in the sense that he's like new to Wolves. He's just like a young prospect that's like kind of like, and it's going to be an attacking player. I think it might be like he might be too young to like really start games, but we don't really know until the season starts or when we start seeing how preseason is and stuff. So right now I'm like kind of interested in it, but that could obviously shift. Any thoughts there?
I think that on a Wolves team at the moment that's been gutted over the last 2 seasons of their star players, that anyone they buy in is either going to be, depth or a starter. And I think Fer Lopez, even though he's young, and they have a knack for starting young players, could play. That's why I've ranked him quite high.
Who else do you guys like in this? I mean, we can obviously scroll. Like maybe I will zoom out one more so we can see the whole. Maybe I don't know if we can see the whole 150 bet or the 50 bet. Who else do you guys kind of like in this ace? Because there's a few names near the end here that I've been finding when I do mocks that I tend to gravitate towards. Are there any names for you guys that stand out? Tico, I see one that I know that you like.
Is it Grealish?
Oscar Bob.
Oscar Bob.
Bob with two B's.
Yeah, I put him in there too. You ranked him high, bro.
This is 10 plus rounds. This is where I take I swing for the fences.
Okay. Nice. Okay.
Yeah. No safe picks. Obviously, the thing with him is playing time, and I think anyone in the Manchester City midfield backs, whatever formation they're going to use this year, I think it's going to bring value in production.
Damn, you've ranked Jack Grealish.
Yeah.
Is that with the idea of a move away, and it's kind of a lottery pick in that sense, the same way that we've talked about like Garnacho and Kunku and those types of players?
Yeah, as long as he goes to any middle of the table, bottom half of the table, he's just going to have the ball at his feet at all times, dribbling, crosses, and all that stuff. And he was a monster before he got to City, even the first couple of years. So if he's available, why not? I mean, who else are you going to draft in those rounds that's going to like be a game changer for you?
I hear you.
I like it. What about, I know someone that we talked about briefly with Joe and then Enzo, I think we both like is Jed Spence is like a late round pick too, just from Tottenham. I think he had some really good moments last year, and Thomas Frank is a pretty exciting coach. And I think that's just like, you can do a lot worse as a late round pick.
Yeah, I had him at 150, but I know we added Ekiteke late, so he dropped down to 151. But he's definitely, for me, like a last round. Hopefully, he's still there big. Just because if he gets game time under Thomas Frank with those wingbacks, if he can do the same thing that Coyote did, oh my god!
I think you don't have a lot of defenders ranked, which I found kind of interesting. Romero, Fabio Scher.
I think I mean, Enzo, you talked about that, right? That you just are not. You think you're going to be able to get guys just off waivers and stuff, and it's not worth ranking. Is that kind of the mindset?
That was the mindset. I only ranked one goalkeeper, and I didn't really do too many defenders. Only the ones I knew, I felt comfortable with. I did mostly midfielders and forwards, because they're the ones that can get you points.
Which goalkeeper did you rank?
Pickford.
Okay, some other names on here I like. Someone that we talked about was Crescencio Somerville. With Kudus leaving, I think that opens up space there, and it's who knows. I think he's more plays off the left, which is fine. But because I think that's where I think Kudus was kind of being forced to play out of position when he was there off the left.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of opens that. And he was injured last season, so we didn't really get to see him. So I think there's like a little bit like a slept on thing, and B like there's an opportunity like positionally for him too.
Yeah. I mean,
I like that.
Definitely has opportunity.
Tico, someone you've mentioned before is Adrian Truffert from Bournemouth, kind of coming in to be the Kirkes replacement. I think that's an interesting one in these rounds too, just as, like the dart throws that we've been talking about. Anyone else in here that you guys are liking? I think like other names like Malagusto is kind of interesting, not so much because of his last year numbers, but just because it seems like in the Club World Cup, Maresca kind of found a way to play him and play Reece James.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly if he's playing pretty high up, that's interesting. I just don't know how much playing time that is, or if that's like a confirmed thing, Yeah,
could be. Danny Welbeck's another interesting one. You guys got him pretty early in the 12th round, in the 13th round. I went for the 14th. Again, we know about him already. He can be really good in the first part of the season, but just be wary that he probably will get dropped.
Oh, I mean, without João Pedro there, it is kind of interesting. Like there's less competition. I mean, who knows? Brighton might sign a striker.
Mm-hmm.
Another striker, but I just feel like it's kind of his position, and like last year he was crushing it at the start of the season.
He was.
So I just feel like it's like with the forward scarcity. I know we're gonna kind of talk about how we think that by the end of the season it'll all kind of shake out, okay?
Yeah.
But from a forward scarcity position, but like I still think forwards will be scarcer than they have been in the past. And with that being said, like why not take a stab at Danny Welbeck that you can slot him in for a few games at the start of the season? You get him in the 12th round, like it's like not a lot of risk.
Yeah. The other interesting thing I see with you guys is that you guys actually put in a lot of the promoted team players that I noticed. Mayenda, who I don't really know too much about, but I don't put too much weight under a player who plays up front for a lower team. I know Delap was that guy last season, got your 10 goals. But then you've got like Perot, who I don't know. I don't know. But you guys didn't rank Daniel James, who's been in the league before and can do it. But you guys didn't rank him. Is there a reason?
I think that's probably an oversight. I think I probably should have ranked Jan James, to be honest. I think that I'll probably have to go back and look at that. I think that he probably has the capability, and the fact that he's been in the league, Enzo, I think that's a good point. And when you look at his numbers from last year, obviously it's a championship, but they were really good. Yeah. So I think that's one that I would probably want to rank.
Sake of honesty, because I'm a very honest person. I literally went on the promoted teams, just saw who was the number one ADP. I was like, oh, let me put one from each team.
Got it.
But I also want to talk about I think from 131 to 150, we have a few Arsenal players. I kind of wanted to go through them one by one because I thought it was kind of interesting how we have them ranked. 131 is Mikel Merino, who Keith doesn't have ranked. Enzo and I have him 124th. And then Calafiori, both of you don't have ranked. I ranked him. And then Ben White and Saliba. So only Keith has them ranked. Yeah.
Then I have Saliba ranked?
No, 151.
Oh.
Yeah, so 151 is just...
Which is kind of interesting because the last 2 years, the Arsenal defenders were like a hot commodity because they were not giving up any goals.
Yeah.
So I think with Saliba, what you see is that he's not a huge point generator, even when he does play. So I'm sure he'll be picked up. And it's just, to me, I just feel like there's better places. There's better places to go, and I'd rather get guys that are going to generate more points. Because I think even at his best, I think he's barely startable.
I'd rather
the clean sheet points, sure, but he's not generating enough points other than that.
You'd rather have Gabriel, perfectly honest, if you're gonna have.
Oh, I mean, Gabriel is obviously ranked much higher.
Yeah,
I think because he kind of plays that X, the X in the the set plays and stuff like that,
And Calafiori, I'm just not a fan of Calafiori. I think he's a midfielder in the defender position. He wants to be a midfielder at least, and I just don't think that's gonna.
Keith, if you get the chance, do you mind pulling up the points per star for Calafiori?
I have it right here. Let me look it up. Okay, let me see here. I just deleted someone's name off this list. Okay. Calafiori. Ricardo Calafiori, 7.7 points per start with 11 stars. So he was injured a lot too. So that's another thing that I was just The
injury.
The injury, and it wasn't when he wasn't injured, he had these phenomenal numbers that were, game changing. They're it's points per start, 7.7's poor, below replacement level,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think there is upside, if Lewis Skelly wasn't there or something, and you think he's going to walk into that position, but with Lewis Skelly in there too, I just don't see it.
Yeah, I think it might be Lewis Skelly's position, perfectly honest.
Yeah, and I think with Ricardo Calafiori, his the ability to play center back and left back just means he'll definitely get some time, but isn't enough time to really warrant what we're looking at here. Yeah. All right. Any other names we want to talk about in this? I think we can go down 11. Tico, you're hot on this guy.
What guy?
Ciarano Barry.
He said he was going to draft him.
You have him 68th ranked, Tico. That's a pretty big difference from what me and Enzo both have. You think he's going to be the starter at Everton?
I think so. Yeah.
What? Just you think he's? I heard a few pundits talk about how they really like him as a player too. So I'm not shocked, but. Are you really? Do you think you'll be drafting him in the 7th round?
Obviously, a lot of it matters if I have forwards or not. But I think he could be one of those forwards where if you draft him in the middle to late, could be top point producer. I think that job is going to be his eventually, because even with Beto last year when he came on and had a couple of good games, he still was not getting the consistent minutes and starts. He still got benched. So with on that team, on the Everton team, who else is going to be the striker? To me, it's
It's between them for sure.
Oh yeah.
What about not ranking Harvey Barnes, Tico? Was that a conscious decision?
Conscious decision, yeah.
Because
and what was that about?
I don't think he's getting enough starts, do you?
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, if he gets the rotation, but I don't think he's going to be in the lineup week in and week out. And even when he was, I don't think of him as someone who's a very high production player.
Really?
He had some good season. He had good games at the end of the season last year when Gordon had his issues.
Yeah, and then when Gordon was fit, he couldn't get back in the team because Harvey Barnes was performing.
But if you're going to be banking on a player performing well if someone else gets injured, to me, it's really not value on that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. I have Harvey Barnes ranked. Oh, I guess I'm the
But I'm
lowest
also
ranked, actually, to be
thinking
honest.
Newcastle's
But
in Champions League, right? So they're going to be rotating. There is going to be rotation, whether they like it or not.
okay, then what about we're all? It's Enzo. You didn't rank Fabian Schär. I have him at 105. Tico, you have him at 117. I think he's always just he comes up with the odd goal, and he's just a pretty solid starting defender. It just feels like one of those picks. He's not like one of the lottery picks you're talking about. To me, he's like the type of guy that if you're in the 12th round and he's there, he seems like a pretty easy like defender for defender 5.
Could be.
You
How
know?
was his ghost points? Because I think like, can you see that?
Yeah.
Because you know what, I'm starting to think about it. I probably should have.
It is also one of
8.2
those.
8.2 points per start.
Yeah.
Ghost points 7.8,
That's
which
good.
is not
It's
bad.
not bad for a
8.2 is
defender.
solid though.
Not bad for a defender.
No,
Maybe I should have.
I mean the people he's around in his ghost points. Oh, I don't have it. I don't have it arranged by that. Never mind. But like 7.8. Mark Cucurella's 7.6. You know, Elliot Anderson 6.9. Tyreek Mitchell 7.8.
And there
Mark Gahey 8.6. So
and there's competition for centre back at Newcastle. You got Sven Botman coming back. You've still got frigging, Big Dan Burn. Was playing centre back at the end of the last season. So
yeah, something there. Okay, then I think we have interesting thoughts about James Ward-Prowse, and I think I went back and looked, and like he was starting under Graham Potter the last like several games he started, and so I think there's value there, and I think a lot of that value just like comes from the fact that he's really good set piece delivery, and like West Ham has some big boys, and yeah, and James Ward-Prowse has a nice little foot to him. He's kind of a sneaky late pick, especially after going so high in drafts last year and being such a bust.
yeah, I agree. He fucked me last year, but that wasn't his fault. JWP, if he gets stars, I feel like he can produce like what was it like crosses, shot assisted,
accurate crosses, no corners, key passes,
all those. So I think he can do that, and it's all depending if he gets the starts under Potter.
Yeah, I totally agree. I actually like looking at how low you guys have him. I actually might need to adjust my rankings because I don't want to be left out of the chance to draft him potentially.
The one above him though is interesting at the moment because we don't know if he's still going to be in the league.
Pervis Estupiñán. So that's in 110. So now we're going into the next grouping of right. Oh no, we're doing 100, right? 101.
Yeah.
Pervis Estupiñán. So they got a new left back. This guy like D Cooper or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's rumors now that Purvis is going to be on his way out. But I feel like the way Brighton works is they usually get a guy, like they don't usually just like replace a guy. They're pretty good about like getting the replacement in before they get rid of the guy. So that they might be seeing Purvis as like, let's get rid of him in the next 2 years and bring his replacement now to get ready.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that way?
If the rumors are there, so there's how many more weeks left? 2 more weeks?
Less than a month, 3 weeks.
3 weeks? So there's still 3 weeks. We're going to find out. As we get closer, I'm sure we'll adjust our rankings. A few of these players might not even be in there.
Yeah, absolutely. There's one that I'm looking at here that I think I would have to adjust my rankings on in this last group is Miles Lewis-Skelly. Again, I probably have him a little too high, 145. I just don't think he'll be there.
Where?
He's currently at 102 for us.
Okay.
But I just don't know. I just feel like I think like he wasn't. The thing with him is though that he wasn't this like amazing point scorer last season. So I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I feel like I should just leave it. I feel like there might be a little bit of overhype on the fact that his position will change because even if he does get clean sheet points, I like. Do you want to see what his points per start were? Let me pull it up.
But he's also taken up modeling. You see him? He was on the fucking catwalk. This guy's got to start focusing on football. That's another thing to think about.
His points per start was 4.
Oof.
With 15 starts.
Eesh.
Ghost points per start 3.8. So even if you give me the occasional clean sheet in there, like maybe I don't think there's that much more value. I think maybe I don't
Shit.
like I don't know.
Take him out of mine of 1 or 2 and put Fabian Schär in his place.
But I think what we're also banking on is he played out of position, and he was 17, 18, first year starting. So you're also banking on him getting better and the team overall getting better as well. So I think that's what at least for me, that's why the ranking is so high.
I think also you got to think about hopefully he doesn't get fucking 2 red cards like he did last season either. That affected it.
Yeah, that's true. And 15 starts, getting 2 red cards is definitely going to hurt your scores, without a doubt. Yeah, okay. I mean, Reece James is interesting. I think he's kind of like a lottery pick at 101, just because you just don't know if he's going to play. And I'm not super excited. Like, he's the type of player that I'm trying to avoid, which is just like the players with lots and lots of question marks.
And that's why I put him in the 12th round, late 12th round, because one is, I think Tigo said it before, it's mouthwatering when a defender plays in the midfield. And if he plays in that midfield, which I don't think he'll do too often, but when he does, could be fucking beautiful.
All right. Anyone else we want to talk about here? Mateus Tell, Tico, you don't have him ranked. I have him ranked 116th. Enzo, you're the hottest on him at 81.
Because I think there's animosity amongst Son and where he's playing. Like, if you look at the friendlies, he's getting pulled early or he's not starting. It doesn't look good. He doesn't look happy at the moment. So I think Matthias Tell is the obvious
left winger. You don't think Richarlison gets a shake at all?
I don't think so. I wouldn't. I think Tell being the younger one, we just signed him. Richarlison's had his chance. Don't get me wrong, I think he could play there, but there's also rumors about Richarlison going. And if by some miracle we get Johanna Wieser, I think then he'll definitely take that spot.
I think that's interesting. I just feel like he's still so young. Like, even his starts in the season, it's just that idea that you're banking on him improving.
Yeah.
Because he had 11 starts. His points per start is 8.1. Ghost points per start 6.4. Virtually like zero WAR. Like, just I mean, I don't know. I wasn't super impressed. There's certain things he did I liked when I watched him play, but as a whole, I wasn't like, this guy's.
He's not a superstar.
Tear it up.
He's not a superstar yet. Not yet.
Yeah. So maybe it happens, but I guess that's where in the 11th round you gamble on that, right?
Yeah, I agree.
All right, should we go to the next section, like 99, 100 to whatever, 50?
99 to 50.
I'm gonna do this thing because we obviously can't see all of them. Okay, at 100, Harry Wilson. He's someone that I just do not rate. 136 for me. You guys both have him really close, 93, 91. To me, like last year, what he was doing was just coming off the bench so much. So it was like, how are you really going to ever like comfortably start him? Like, how are you ever going to feel good about that?
I think he could start this season.
You do?
Yeah, I don't think ESR gets too much more game time, perfectly honest.
You think that was just a miss?
Yeah, I think they gave ESR a chance last season, and don't get me wrong, I think he played pretty well, but there was games where he just went fucking missing. But when Harry Wilson came off the bench for him, look what Harry Wilson did. So I think Harry Wilson starts.
His points per start's 9.7, not the worst. I mean, I guess where he's going, the 9th round, but yeah, I mean, 12 starts. I just remember the amount of times he was coming off the bench, and yeah, if you have the belief that Smith Rowe is not going to be starting frequently, then I think that's the only way I think that justifies that, huh?
Mm-hmm. That's the only way I can see it. And if ESR does start, all right, Fulham's going to go down to bottom half of the table again.
What else do we have here? I think there's a lot of this is to me like I think there's still a lot of value in this part of the draft. I think this is to me like the most important part of the draft, because this is where I think there's a couple names in here that are gonna like win people leagues type of players.
Some gems, hopefully.
Yeah, some true gems.
Nicholas Jackson at 99. I think I had him the highest, late 6th round, 59 pick. But you guys, I don't think. Oh yeah, that's right. Tico didn't even draft him.
But I think Tico literally has him at 151 in his rankings.
I think I have him ranked too high.
I just think right now he's the 3rd string striker. So any sort of ranking lower than that is to me saying that you think he's going to go somewhere. And I just haven't seen enough movement like in these rumors for me to start bumping him up.
He should go to Wolves.
Yeah, I mean, I think he would rather go to United. We talked about how cool that could be, like how good of a move that could be. Or like obviously the banter of him going to Arsenal would be just outstanding.
But yeah, so I think there's a move. Chelsea won. Chelsea does quick business. We've seen it, whether they sell a player or they buy a player. So I think Nicholas Jackson is surplus to requirements, and he's going to head out.
Yeah, that's very likely. I also okay. So then, what about Ethan Nwaneri? For me, he just feels like you're drafting it back up.
Did he play on the left last season? Val?
Yes.
Not. Yes.
Yeah.
He did. So
no, I'm sorry. He played on the right.
Oh, that's right. Played on the right. Yeah, when
okay.
Saka was out. Yeah, that's what I remember.
Okay. Because
So I just feel like drafting a backup in the 9th round is just never like never makes sense to me.
And is he
personally.
a striker?
Ranieri, no,
Midfielder.
he's closer to a 10. He's closer to a
Is he
10.
close
Like
to
I
a
think
10?
I think they see his long-term future more in like an Odegaard role.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I think I might have gone too high. I'm gonna have to change that. I got him at the end of the at the beginning of the 10th round, 91, with the idea that he could get some starts. But I thought for some reason I thought he played on the left. And I thought he'd be battling fucking Martinelli on that left hand side.
Honestly, that would be the ideal situation if they move him on the left side, so he could play at the same time as Saka wouldn't be his backup, and obviously Martinelli isn't. Probably would be an upgrade.
Yeah, because with Noni Madueke there, he wouldn't be Saka's backup. He'd be Noni's backup. You know, I don't think that would work.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. I think it's maybe. I think he's even further down the pecking order all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So I don't love it. Sessegnon to me is not that interesting because of the position change. I thought he was only really that exciting because he was classified as a defender, and they had him playing as like a forward.
Wait,
times last season,
but he still produced when he was on.
He did well.
He still produced on that left hand side when he played, even if he was. I know it was bare as him as a defender, and I think we got more points. But I think we're at a 95th pick. I think that's still value there, especially on a Fulham team that has Raul Jimenez that he can cross the ball to and score goals.
So the other thing with him is like it's not like he started tons and tons of games. It was like he came in like midway through the season, started like less than 7 games, and then had some really good results, and then like didn't really do much after that.
Who's on the left? Who's on the left?
Who's on the left?
Yeah, who's on the left for Fulham? I don't think there's that much.
Let
me look.
I mean, it's kind of shifted over time. I mean, obviously Willian was out there. They had Andre Pereira that would sometimes go out there.
Traore plays on the right.
I'm pulling up the Fulham. Let's see what their last game. Let's see what their lineup was for their very last game. It was Traore on the left, Pereira, Wilson with Jimenez up top. So I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. It just feels like banking on a lot of that like goodwill from last year, which I'm not sure how much I believe in. What else are we seeing? I think there's a lot of names here that I'm like not mad at getting. I think like the Higo, you called out Mateus Nunes in the past. I think that's very interesting. I think the only thing there would be is obviously if City gets someone else, and B, just rotation concerns.
Yeah, it's just like every other City position. And from what I've been seeing, they're like, oh, he might not be the regular start at the right back. So it's kind of concerning to hear that. But I think the upside is there.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think people are really excited about Michael Coyote. I think the only concern there is just the amount of starts. It wasn't like this massive amount of starts. And then we're talking about a Brentford team that has a new coach. And so there's just so much uncertainty because he wasn't this like established player. He was a player that was just starting to kind of get under his, got his feet under him from a playing perspective. So yeah. Anyone else that kind of speaks to you?
I thought it was pretty cool how all of us had, who was it? There was a player we were like ranked around the same time.
Dan Burn.
Crap, I lost it. No, Mikolenko. 96, 97, 98.
Oh.
We have him ranked, 94.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
There was a few players that we all agreed on. There was only one that we actually completely agreed on.
Jorginho Ruder is interesting too from Brighton. I think we're talking rotation there. That's concerning. Matt Weaver, I think we all like. I have him the lowest at 70. I just think that we've talked about him. He's kind of been like one of my guys that I've been championing.
Mm-hmm.
Tico, you like Esteval Willian. I kind of like him too, but you like him even more. I think too, this just feels like the type of lottery pick that you'd hope to get later in a draft. And I feel like even at 75, like when I really think about that, like I'm probably not taking him there.
And where's he going to play and who's he going to take over on that Chelsea team? No, you got
right wing.
Who's on the right wing? Palmer can play there. Neto can play there.
Honestly, after the Club World Cup, I did kind of after the final, I kind of changed my opinion of him where he should be drafted just because how the team looked good in the formation they played. But that was also Reece James in the midfield. So I think Chelsea might be a frustrating team as well as far as like the rotation. It's not going to be steady lineup outside of some key players. So I think that's going to be a little interesting. But he is someone I kind of want to draft just because I think he could have some magical games or moments.
He looks like a good player.
I think it's just a question of if he's going to see the field enough, and especially see the field enough for a 7th round pick.
And like also, 18 years old, first year in England, first year coming from Brazil. So it's going to be interesting how he holds up.
Yep, totally. Other names on here, I think Josko Gvardiol. I think we're a little bit weary of just because his positionally not playing as a left back anymore. That's going to be at Nori's position. Lewis Hall, I personally really like. I think if you look at his points per start, they're surprisingly high. Like I think people don't really realize how good of a season he had last year.
What's his ADP, mate? I'm curious because I
His
think
ADP, that's a good question. Current ADP is 66.8.
Oh man, yeah, I got him low.
He's yeah, maybe I mean his points per start was 10.7 last year with 24 starts.
That's really good. And what about goals
Yeah,
points per start? Was that clean sheets?
9.4
Whoa.
gross points per start, which is also solid. His WAR was almost 1 at 0.94, which is also very good
That is.
for a player. So I think he's one of those guys that maybe is flying on the radar a little bit that I like. I think another one is Carlos Alcaraz. What were you gonna say? But if anyone else, I mean, there's a lot of names here that I'm still pretty hot on. I really like Carlos Alcaraz. I think Elliot Anderson's interesting with Morgan Gibbs White going. Obviously, there's like the caveat that if like James McAtee or like someone else goes there, then that changes and he probably slots back into that he slots back into a deeper role. But I think there's something intriguing there. I personally like Beto. I know Tico, you are hotter on Barry. I think Beto gets us starts at the beginning of the season, and just hoping I can almost like wait you out to drop Barry or pick him up. Like that type of like I think a lot of people that drop Barry, if he doesn't start in the first like 5 weeks, then you could maybe like sneakily draft if you miss him in drafts. That's kind of my thought process there. I think Ndai is interesting. Again, like I'm kind of sleeping on Everton players. We get to the Luis Diaz situation where I have him ranked 30, Tico you have him ranked 20, Enzo you have him not ranked. Because you're a coward.
I'm not a coward. I don't think he should be ranked by anybody else, not just by myself. Shouldn't be drafted.
Ishmael Assar will be interesting. I think.
Fucking bastard. Jorgen Strand Larson, I like a lot because I think he's gonna get more. He's gonna get starts and he's gonna be the focal point of that attack.
I agree. I just wonder if he's gonna be remotely good without Cunha there, and like if there's gonna be enough creativity like supply for him.
Yeah,
that would be my concern. But I also like I liked watching Jorgen Strand Larson last year. Like he runs so hard, is like kind of a psycho and is big and knocks into people. Like he's pretty entertaining in that sense.
I'm generally just on Wolves players. I think they're going to be battling for relegation. So we like Larson, but is he going to be able to produce without Cunha there? I think it's going to be very difficult for him.
Yeah, totally agree. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, we haven't ranked Tico or Enzo. You haven't ranked lowest, which is interesting given your like aversion to defenders in general. But then Tico, you haven't ranked a little bit higher at 82. You're not a believer that he can do the same thing next season or this coming season again, which was just have like very solid numbers on both sides of the field.
Yeah, and I'm also down on West Ham as a team overall. I don't think they're going to be that good, so I just didn't rank him that high. Players from West Ham in general.
He played so well last season.
Okay,
but I'm just going by what you said about what's his name, Munoz. Like you're going from last season and how they play, and that they can reproduce. Like Wan-Bissaka had a good season last season. I think he had good points per start. I think he had a good ghost points if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he was solid. I think all his numbers were good. Remember we did that ghost points. We did that ghost point episode a few while back. You can check it. Check it out. I think it was maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago. His ghost points per start is like, what is that? Is that right? 10.8? Yeah. That's pretty darn good. Ghost points per start. He's one of the characters. Oh, it's so funny, guys. So remember last episode when we were looking at Anthony Robinson and we're like, how is it possible that his points per start is lower than his ghost points per start? Joe messaged me and Joe was like, LOL, you guys. It's because he got so many negative points from letting goals in, which was like obvious in hindsight.
Yeah.
But in the moment, we're just like, what the hell? But that's what it is. And so Wan-Bissaka is the same. Where Wan-Bissaka's points per start was 10, but his ghost points per start was 10.8.
Okay, that's good.
It's very good.
Very good.
And then we get into some interesting. There's such an interesting thing in these rounds where you're looking at some guys that are going to start, and then you're looking at like a Jacob Murphy. You just don't know if he's going to play, and so then like you're banking in like knowing that last year he had a phenomenal season, but they got Anthony Alenga. And so it's just like, how much playing time is he going to get? And like, I'd say the same thing about it, like a Noni Madueke. And then it's like, would you rather have a guy like that, or would you rather have like an Ismail Assar who's pretty sure is going to play a lot, and Evan Nielsen you're pretty sure is going to play a lot? You know, it's like this is you have some tough decisions in these rounds for those types of players for sure.
I'm thinking they start with Jacob Murphy for me. Newcastle, I think they start what they have. I know they spent 55 million on Elanga, and I think Elanga's a good player, but they got a player in Jacob Murphy, and it's going to be his position to lose. And it all depends on how he starts.
Yeah,
but I agree with Ismail Assar. I think he's going to have a little bit more game time. He's like a value pick, I think, in the later rounds. Evan Nilsson, we know what he can do. I think you hope that he can do a little bit more than he did last season. But as long as Kluivert, is that how you say it, Tico?
Yes.
As long as he's there, I think he can help him get Kluivert more points than himself.
He's just way too goal dependent, man.
Very goal dependent.
And he doesn't score that much.
And then another name we've been kind of like talking about a lot is Simon Adingra. I'm 71, and you have 58. Tico, you have 64. You guys are giving me crap for drafting him in the 7th round in a draft, and so you're giving me a crap while you have him ranked 58.
So I didn't move Adingra. Forgot to move him. I had him 58 when he was at Brighton. So
really,
yeah.
Interesting. So you actually rated him higher at Brighton than you do at
because João Pedro is gone, so I thought he'd get more game time.
Interesting. Either way I look at it, I see like names like the midfielders that are going around him, like the Jacob Murphys, the Noni Madueke's, and I just think like I know Adingra is going to play every single game, and so he's not like going to be like potentially a home run type guy, but he's like, if you have a couple other really solid midfielders and you need a guy that you really just can depend on there, I think that to me seems like the type of play that I'm looking at.
I just don't see Sunderland do it. They picked up Jordan Henderson also, and he's going to start every game probably for them. But I just don't see Simon Adingra being as impactful on Sunderland as he would have been on Brighton. They're going to be doing a lot of defending.
Yeah, fair enough. Who else do we have here that we're liking? I think Tarkowski is always criminally underdrafted or like underrated in what he does. He's again like a top 20 player again this year. He like seems to always kind of land in there. I have him ranked accordingly. Tico does too. Enzo, you're just not a believer in general?
Yeah, I'm just trying to stay away from too many defenders. I like James Tarkowski. I think, I think I fucked up by putting him at 79th. But I'm looking more for forwards and midfielders that can get me points.
So we're all in agreement on Shirky too, like kind of like 58, 55, 51. I would be curious to see what his ADP is because I think I might be lower than that. His right now is ADP is it's like we're in that same space. So he's going in like ADP is 52.5. I think he's like one of those guys that could be a huge upside play, but it's a matter of it's like he's the type of guy that I could see getting like 11 plus points per start, but only starting like 18 games.
Yeah. It's that rotation, it's that Man City headache. And is he the guy or is Foden? What play do you think has to not do well on that team for him to get some starts? It has to be Foden, right? If Foden starts?
Yeah. Foden. I mean, there's also a possibility that like if Marmoush isn't playing well and like,
True.
I think that's another option there. So it's interesting. Who else do we have here in the top 50? Sloboslai. What do you like? I feel like people are just not excited about him this year. And I think, Tico, you said you always talk about you're off him. You're done. Correct?
It's more of just because I've had it for 2 years in a row. And he's not one of those players that will get you like 8, 10, 11. He's like 3, 2, 20, 13, and then 0, 0. So it's just one of those players. He usually gets drafted highest for the midfielder, just because he plays for Liverpool. And he's also a good player, but I just don't think the consistency is there. Even though last year he had a good, better year, and also I feel like that's 2 years in a row where his year has gradually gone down towards the end of the year.
His points and everything.
Yeah.
And then rounding out at 50, Jean-Philippe Mateta. 56, 47, 52, all kind of the same area. I like him in general, and I think we all were kind of fans of what he does. And I think it's I just if Eze leaves, are we super off him? Does that change your guys' opinion at all?
I think he just produces. I don't think it's gonna change that much because last year Olise went. He still produce very similar numbers.
Mhm.
I think at this point he is what he is.
which is just a solid striker.
What
Yep.
was that?
Solid but not spectacular.
What, a forward 2, a forward 3, or a forward 2?
I think that you could probably get everything with a forward 2, depending on your team construction, right?
Yeah.
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 I mean, you're not mad if it's your second forward.
Yeah.
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 As long as you're
And like where he's going in drafts, that's kind of makes sense as well, I think.
And as long as your first forward is a fucking point fucking machine, you'll be fine about having second.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Any other names we want to talk about in this kind of like the 100 to 50 range before we go down? You guys, we're making such good time. This might just be one single
This might just be
episode.
one episode. I think
Gakpo we talked about earlier.
Sade.
We can kind of skip on that. Sade.
he's now a forward,
where's
man.
Sade?
He's now a forward.
Which is good, I think. I think he really started coming on at the end of the season. I think my concern is just the Brentford situation again. I feel like we've like been beating this over the head, but it's like there's just so much uncertainty with what's going to happen there.
so look, but with
And it's like gonna,
Mbembo going, isn't he like he's like a shoe-in now just to start?
he kind of starts off the left and he plays a different role. It's not like he's but yeah, I mean, maybe he's really fast. He's really good in the air. He scored quite a few header goals at the end of the season. I don't know. I just feel like I kind of like him, but in that area, I've just found that there's other guys. Like I'd probably like wait and hope to pick up like an Evan Nielsen, or
You'd skip.
maybe, I don't know. I think it's so team dependent. It's so like where you're at in drafts and stuff. So much of it is obviously, but he had really good numbers. Like his points per start numbers were pretty solid for someone who was like off wait. Like you could grabbed him. You could get him off waivers in some leagues last year.
That's true. That's true.
And I think it's crazy how you have Virgil van Dijk ranked 88th.
Who?
Virgil?
Oh yeah, I got him 80th.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely
Ridiculous.
insane.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
I think he was a top 20 defender. He was a top 20 player last year, I'm pretty sure.
Let me see.
Kevin Shaw, 11.1 points per start. But the thing with him is, Jesus, man, his ghost points per start he's 6.6. That's crazy low.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it could be different this season because I think he's going to get more starts, and I think he's going to have more of an integral part of the offense.
Okay, I hear that.
That's why I think
violently opposed to it.
Yeah. And after that, I don't even feel good about Chris Wood in the 7th round that we got him in 61, 60, 63. So I just don't think that Nottingham Forest team's going to be the fucking same. And nor is he going to score 20 plus goals again.
I think everyone's starting to feel that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's just been dropping and dropping and dropping. I think, yeah. At some point, he's going to start being a value, though.
Yeah.
Don't you say? I mean, I think like after Jorgen Strand Larson and like Beto, and like after that, like I think it's like a huge value.
Yeah, you'd have to. I'd be more comfortable drafting him later on, maybe the 8th round even.
8th round.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to be there.
Yeah, but that's the only time I feel comfortable drafting him.
Yeah, I get it. I think someone will take the chance that he's just going to knock in a few. But I think losing Gibbs White, losing Alenga.
Mm-hmm.
I also think the other thing too is like it's a pretty good coach over there. Like, as far as Sando's done a really good job. So I don't think it's the end of the world to just like gamble on him later. Like as your forward 3. If you have Chris Wood as your forward 3, you're not mad.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I don't think so.
Maybe even your forward 2, but I think that's probably he's like a thin forward 2.
Yeah. I still wouldn't feel comfortable as forward 2. Forward 3, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
What else? Who else is anyone else? Or we go into the next section?
I'm surprised that you got Liam Delap so low. Even if he is second string to João Pedro, you said it before, João Pedro being so flexible and versatile, like Delap's going to get some starts. And honestly, in the Club World Cup when he came on, especially even in that final, he showed some like explosiveness, and he had a couple like close bangers that he nearly got. I think he could be.
You are correct, and maybe I need to move him down a little bit. I think my thought process is that in these rounds, like the late fit or in these numbers, like the late 50s or the 60s, I want guys that I know are going to be starting games.
Gotcha.
And I just don't. There's just no guarantee. Like I look at like an Evan Nielsen, I look at even Simon Adingra.
Yeah,
those are guys that are pretty nailed on to start a lot of games.
I hear you.
Like, that's the same reason that like maybe like a Cody Gakpo, I probably am not going to be drafting in a lot of leagues. I just don't see the pathway for him to be starting 30 plus games this season.
Got
And
it.
it, you know, we're like we look at Kevin Shaw and stuff like that. Like I see that path.
Yeah.
So all right, guys.
Close it out, Keith.
This has been episode 98 of Dropped Offsides. My name is Keith. I'm with Tico and Enzo. Follow us at Dropped Offsides everywhere. This has been a fun one. It's been a long one, but yeah, it's fun. Like looking over rankings, a lot of the good stuff comes out of this. So hopefully you enjoyed it.